It's Claychart, and this will be a video chart on GLD, which is a spider for gold. I did this with oil yesterday. I like to kind of vary things up in terms of uh, the charts I use for each sector. With gold, I've used many of them. I don't know if I've ever used GLD before, but they all track the same industry, so it's worth kind of just going over because gold plays a large economic role in things. Obviously, ties very closely to the dollar, gas prices, and just one of those valuable commodities. So let's dig in and look at what's going on. The key thing I wanted to point out with this one, just real long term. From a long term view, we're in just a consolidation pattern right now. If you look from right here on the double bottom back in October and November, we then shot up, and since then have been doing this kind of consolidation type thing. So I'm going to be focusing more on this part of the pattern here. But for you long-term players that really like to dig back, we are in whether you want to call it a bull pennant, bull flag. Bull pennant would probably be more accurate, but that's where we look, or that's what it looks like from the longer-term view. But let's zoom in now and concentrate on this section here. And as I was saying, what we have here is a symmetrical triangle. Now, within the overall context, this is part of a bull pennant, but this is going to be geared more towards maybe mid to short-term swing traders. So let me bring this, and let me grab another line here, draw this up like that. And I know I'm cutting beneath some of those, but the point being the price is making higher lows. We have a low, a low, a low, and then a low up here. And these are all obviously higher than one another. So I know I'm kind of cheating there, but I'm not trying to draw an exact trend line, just trying to show that the flow, the trend, hence trend line, is up in terms of making higher lows. So the thing to look for gold is, what's going to happen here? Are we going to break out to the upside here and then take off? And if that happens, that just is implying that the dollar continues to lose value, and with that, oil will go up and all that kind of stuff. For the inflation debates and all that, this is definitely a chart you want to see. And if the people are going to be right about inflation, what's going to happen is the price will come up here and bust through this upper trend line, and then just go on another run. Come up here and probably give this a test, and if this level falls and the price busts through there and keeps running, then that's where the dollar is really starting to feel some pain. And I'm sure we all, as in our everyday lives, will be feeling it at the gas pumps and grocery stores and so forth. So ideally, what I want to see is I just want to see gold come down here and collapse through this trend line here. Will that happen? I have no idea, but a collapse through that trend line and gold falling is implying that the dollar is strengthening, and that inflation and stuff like that is at least under control for right now. The other thing to note here is that the 200-day simple moving average is sloping up now, as you can see. So this is also reaffirming that the overall trend, once again, remember, we're in a bull pennant here, but the overall trend is up. So yeah, we've been going sideways here for the past, since about February, but it has also allowed for the 200-day simple moving average to curl upwards at the same time. So gold, if anything, is gaining strength here as the dollar continues to weaken. But as I've been saying, what we want to see as consumers and so forth is gold fall to the downside. Now, if you own gold, obviously you wouldn't mind seeing it go up. But from just an economic standpoint, and for commodity prices and so forth, I'd like to see it come here and fall down through that trend line. Let's take a look at the weekly chart, and here is the pattern I drew from the daily, and you can see same concept right here. I could probably draw this big move up here, and now we're just getting this wedge pattern, symmetrical triangle, whatever you want to call it, and it's just showing that we're going to reach a decision time. And as you can see, this line is still going down, this line is going to go up, and at some point in time these lines are going to meet up, and right in this area, the bulls and bears are going to have to make up their mind which way is this going to go. hopefully, it's this way. But we'll have to wait and see. But that's what I'm trying to get across here on this video, is that a decision time is approaching. Which decision is going to be made and which way is the chart going to go, I don't know. And then the last thing I wanted to point out was this right here, the 200 week, which shows kind of just a long term, clearly up. I mean, if you pull up this chart, you can see that gold has been just trending up strongly for a while. And hopefully what's not happening here is a pattern like we had here, where for about a year, couple years, kind of just had some sideways action before this huge move up. I hope that this whole thing right now isn't, from a long-term view. Hopefully that's not what this little thing is right here, where we're kind of going back and forth right now, and then going to get a huge move up, because, to correlate that with what the prices at the pump were, I'd imagine, they were pretty darn expensive. Actually, is that when, during the summer? I'm not sure. I came a little, if that's happened over such a period, but I mean, we all remember when gas prices were up at $4 a gallon. Can't remember exactly when that was. I don't know if it was during this period or not. But the point being, I just hope we're not going to repeat this, where we have this longer term pattern and then a huge move upwards. Hopefully that's not what this thing is, or what this pattern is right now. But it could be, with the way the government's printing money. I wouldn't be surprised to see it come up here and bust up through this trend line and just start running. But only time will tell. So that's where we stand on gold, waiting for a decision point. But for the past year or so, it's been pretty neutral now, in terms of just bouncing back and forth between this wedge pattern, symmetrical triangle, whatever you want to call it. I'd also encourage you to check out bullmarketnewsletter.net. If you head there and sign up for the newsletter, you will get a free ebook, which has been getting good reviews. And then you will also be getting all sorts of other things, trade ideas, which we've been doing well at. Our last one has been up about 40% in a couple weeks, so that's a pretty good gain. When you compare it to going to a bank and putting your money in a CD where you get 6% for 6 months, so 40% after a couple weeks, that's not too bad. So it's worth at least checking out, and no strings attached. It is all free, so check that out. If you have any other questions on the gold chart or anything like that, send me a message. If not, thanks for listening.